Remember the drones over New Jersey? Everybody like, not everybody. We didn't say this, but people were like, "Oh, it's UFOs, UAPs," and it very obviously wasn't. Well, that mystery has apparently been solved. From the New York Post, New Jersey drone and UFO scare solved, ? Private contractor unveils strange craft, takes credit for the sky mystery. A private company at a high-powered Army conference demonstrated a unique aircraft at the event and allegedly took responsibility for setting off last year's drone and UFO pandemonium in New Jersey, a source told the New York Post. At the Army's UAS, what's UAS? It's like United, it's something aerial something. Hold on, let me find out what UAS means. Yeah, unmanned aerial systems is what it is. At the Army's Unmanned Aerial Systems and Launch Effects Summit in Fort Rucker in August, a private contractor conducted a live demonstration of a manned aerial craft that wowed the crowd with its unconventional appearance and unorthodox flight movements. Quote, "You remember the big UFO scare in New Jersey last year? Well, that was us," an employee of the unnamed contractor claimed to a small group after the demonstration, according to the source who was invited to the summit. And I tried to find, they usually have videos of these summits online. I have not been able to find one yet. The company was in the air over the Garden State in November 2024 to test their capabilities, the contractor claimed to the source, adding they were not required to disclose their activity to the public because of a private government contract. And that's exactly what it was. Either going to be a foreign entity, a foreign country, or one of ours, is what most reasonable people concluded. Quote, "It feels like a UFO because it defies what you're expecting to see," they said, adding there was an uncanny valley feeling when watching it quietly motor through the sky. When it turned, you almost completely lose sight of it, the source said, of roughly the 30-minute demonstration in the controlled airspace of Fort Rucker. So they apparently demonstrated what was going on during this thing, which is why I think people were seeing this up in the sky and why there was reports of people seeing it and saying it disappeared. All conference attendees were approved by the brass at Fort Rucker, which enacted strict rules for participation, including the exclusion of any drone or craft containing Chinese-made parts, the source revealed. It would definitely have been cleared, the source said, adding someone was 100% in charge of coordinating the clearing of it. The implication in the article being that the government knew what it was at the time. The rash of supposed drone sightings in New Jersey began in November 2024 over the Army base Picatinny Arsenal in Morris County and continued across the state in early December. Trump's Federal Aviation Administration announced in January that many of the reports of the mystery drones were hobbyists, recreational pilots, and private individuals. So that, according to this, that wasn't true. The Army declined to comment. This is funny. The Army declined to comment, citing the government shutdown as to why. So maybe we ask him again in a few weeks. I forgot the government was shut down. Who cares? Who cares? Senator says, "Oh, fuck no," instead of fuck you. Sorry, it was a typo. That's okay. I'm in Weld Country, Colorado. What's up, Denver? Good to see you. Yeah, so there is that movie coming out, The Age of Disclosure. I think I'll play the trailer on that tomorrow. Which the guy was on Joe Rogan, who is one of the guys behind it. Recently, he was on Joe Rogan. Not expecting anything earth-shattering or... I tell you what, they've really taken the fun out of UFOs and aliens. They have sucked all of the fun right out of UFOs and aliens. All of it. I used to love thinking and talking about that. Now I'm just like, this is stupid. It's stupid because everybody who talks about it and acts like they know anything about it is stupid. I don't want to believe something that stupid people are trying to, like, it's just, they sucked all the fun right out of it. And I'm not saying I don't believe that there's some sort of aliens because I've always been of the opinion that there's probably a lot of things out there that we are unaware of. I just don't believe any of the shit that they tell us because it's stupid. All right, last thing. Hold on, let me share this. It's gay, like every POG is an operator phenomenon. Yeah, it's gay. It is. It's all gay. Here. All right, check this out. I'll do one of these. Go a little smoking gun. Sticking with the AI theme. Is that on the screen? Can you guys see that? Yeah, okay. Cops, AI image used in false sex attack claim. Photo of male assailant was actually created by ChatGPT. A Florida woman contacted police earlier this month to report that a male assailant had barged into her home, knocked her to the ground, and then committed a sexual assault. While the attacker was a stranger, the woman said, she was able to take a photo of the suspect while he was seated on the couch in her St. Petersburg apartment. Multiple officers and forensic technicians responded to the scene where Brooke Shelanot, this woman, this looks like her headshot that they used here. I'm a 32-year-old mother of two, said the October 7th attack, wow, occurred, but a subsequent police examination of the image provided by the chick revealed that the photo was an AI generated via ChatGPT, according to an arrest report. Additionally, the photo was found in a deleted folder dated days before she alleged the sexual battery took place. The woman seen above was arrested for falsely reporting a crime. She spent a night in jail before posting a $1,000 bond, records show. Police and court documents do not include a motive for the bizarre incident. In a recent post on her Instagram page, she noted that October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and she had for years, I'm not laughing at this part, been in an abusive relationship. I wonder if that was AI also. He sexually assaulted me, but all I can say is I survived. I made it out, she wrote. All right, I got to look at the source document here. Meal Team 6. Meal Team 6 says to owner, it takes a Trump to make people like Jamie Giles Pritzker look like a pushback on authority. Yeah, from earlier in the show, absolutely. And that's absolutely right. Here's the arrest report. I wonder who they arrested. Did they arrest, like... Defendant contacted police for the second time. Okay. She knowingly gave false information to the officer about a sexual battery. And for the second time, so she'd done this before, she contacted the police department for a second time to report an unknown male had pushed his way into the home and knocked her to the ground and sexually battered her. The male was unknown to her and was not invited to her home. The defendant stated she took a photo of the suspect while he was seated over her couch. Multiple officers and forensic technicians responded to the scene. It was later found the photo was taken through AI generated via ChatGPT. The photo, they're probably like, why does he have 18 fingers? Is that how he sexually assaulted you, with those 18 fingers? Just, no stopping him. The photo provided to the police was found in a deleted folder dated Saturday, days before she alleged the sexual battery took place. That's it. It's just one page of the. Usually there's a couple pages in the document. Well, and there's another wrinkle in the what's AI going to be used for game. I wonder, like the choice of making it somebody she doesn't know. So that's, I guess, good in that she wasn't accusing a real person or trying to accuse a real person. But I would think that you would at least think that you aren't going to get away with it. She thought she'd get away with it. They'll just never find the guy. I don't know who he is. He came into my house. He used his 18 fingers to penetrate every single hole. And then he fled the scene for no reason. All his fingers just, And they'll never find him, is what she thought. She could have tried to make it look like somebody she knows, like an ex. And then they could have arrested him, brought him in. And then he could have had to say, no, I wasn't here. Look at me. I have 10 fingers. I don't have 18 fingers. This is the culture we've created. People who want to project themselves as a victim on Instagram, which is what this woman appears to have been doing during a month where it's going to get them the most attention. Domestic abuse month. Look at me. I was domestically abused by this stranger with 18 fingers who intruded my home and then intruded me with all 18 of his digits. He fled. I never saw him again. This is why we must call attention to Domestic Abuse Month. Like, share, like, comment. Oh, I'm so sorry you went through that. This is what people are incentivized to do. And what AI has enabled idiots to try and get away with. Denver says Jeff Daniels is also in that HBO show. It says like a cat trip for some. Yeah, I saw some of that. That's the show where he acts like a badass trying to like take down. I don't know. It's like it's very much if I'm thinking about the same show where he's trying to take down Trump. Basically, they just don't name somebody Trump. I can't remember the name of the show, but I watched a few episodes. And I was like, this is terrible. Go back to comedy. Stoner says, I saw an article that Ben Stiller was talking about toxic comedy under Trump. Oh, my, give me a break. Yeah. Toxic comedy. Comedy is comedy. Comedy, depending on your audience. You know your audience, right? Same comedy that works in a room full of regular people is not going to work in an LGBTQ only show night. It's going to be different. That's why I don't read that stuff. I used to enjoy Zoolander. It does make it difficult sometimes to separate. The older stuff I can enjoy, although looking back at the older stuff, it makes you realize how disingenuous the virtue signals that some of these actors do now are when you see the work they previously did, which was like normal comedy. They're like denouncing their own work. It's like, okay, why would you denounce the thing that made you who you are? You made all your money off of your past work, and now you're denouncing it because it's toxic comedy. Denver says, I have in-laws and family and stage and props and set design for movies. Ben Stiller takes pride in being the biggest asshole possible. Goes out of his way to make new fish cry and shit. Wow. Well, that's certainly. I wonder if he'd do that if he targets like cis. We're all the cis people. Let me go after them. Ben Stiller is basically the old people. Ben Stiller in real life is basically the old people's home admin nurse in Happy Gilmore. That is hilarious. He did play that part well. So, Yeah, I've never met him personally, but yeah, he certainly loves promoting the latest virtue signal, hardcore. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Stoner, Denver, I appreciate it. I'll probably restream this around 10 a.m. or so. So if you're listening then, this is a restream. Propagandafight.com is the website. YouTube.com/Brad Binkley. Rumble.com/Prop Report. Instagram.com. Did I X out of Instagram? Instagram.com/Propaganda Report. You can get access to the show that I do with Sam Tripoli and Austin Picard called Whatever This Is on Patreon or Locals. Locals, propreport.locals. Yeah, you'll find it. Which is like once a week, subscriber only show. And what you also get if you subscribe to those platforms is you get the audio version of this show ad free. If you're listening on audio and you don't want to subscribe, let the ads play through. I try to only put them at the beginning and towards the end. And so on radio, right, we used to do 3 hours of radio on WSB before we got kicked off for being conspiracy theorists. You know what 3 hours of radio was? It was an hour and a half of radio. It was 90 minutes of radio and it was 90 minutes of advertisements for dick pills. That's what it was. Every show. That was the distribution. So it's like maybe a total of 4 minutes ads if you're listening audio to listen through. And it helps us out because, as I said, we don't get anything if you don't listen to the ads when you're listening on audio. Okay. You can also leave a 5-star review and a comment that warms my heart. That always helps out. And you can also smash like and you can tip on YouTube and Rumble. Thanks, guys, for listening. Thank you guys for hanging out. Always appreciate y'all. We will do it again Thursday, possibly tomorrow, depending on how tomorrow's schedule goes. I'm working on maybe a new studio, so we might try something out tomorrow. All right, guys. Talk to you guys next time. Y'all have a fantastic rest of your day.